Welcome to
To
Shade
stay
and the
in the
City.
city.
I'm your girl Treese.
It's Niles.
And today, y'all, we are here to get into the 90 Day the Fiancé that happens before the 90 days, season 7, episode 15, The Call of the Wild. Okay. If you haven't already, please make sure that y'all go ahead and hit that like button for us.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, we just gonna jump right into it because I ain't even gonna hold y'all. We've been sitting up here for 2 hours, not even having conversation about what we were supposed to be talking about, which was the show, and having sidebars. So yeah, we need to get this done. Okay, but
We
we
should have been
appreciate
done
you.
by now.
I know, right? Let's get shady. Look, y'all should have had the review by now. That's how behind we are. I'm bopping with my bob. Bopping with my bob. All right, y'all. So we're gonna jump into Vanja. Well, ignore the man on the whatever your right, my left, whatever. But ignore him. So Vanja followed her cousin's advice and she done went back on a date nap, but she hasn't been incredibly lucky in romance. Okay. She had a date with one guy, didn't get his name because I don't think it matters. And I feel like she kind of scared him because she was so forward. Um, and I
Is it just me? But it seems like every guy, I don't know if it's just there, that she comes across, they're just much calmer than she is.
so literally my notes say lion gazelle. Because if you've been with us here before, we always tell these women, we need you to be the gazelle. Don't be the lion. And she was definitely given lion. However, she found somebody that liked that lion. She found somebody that liked that tiger. Woo. And she met Jesus Christ, Yosko.
Oh, I said Josco. Is it Yos? Well, I don't know.
I think it's Yosko. The J is something different. It's not pronounced.
You might be right.
So I think it's Yosko. Um, And so she feels like they click and she's hopeful this will turn out better than the rest of her meetups. So when she finally meets Yosko, she thinks he looks better in person and she's still talking a mile a minute on their way to go kayaking to Nell's point. She has a repetitive pattern. And apparently, again, if he likes it, we love it. All right. Happy
You
for it.
just want a bone, girl.
Nah, he looking for a stepmother. So she gets all excited when he starts to undress and Yosko says that Vanja is very much his type. He likes her energy. And this y'all, when I tell y'all, sometimes we be looking at people and we might clown them, but I had to give Vanja her thing. She stuck to being herself. She didn't tone it down. And she right now, from what we see, found somebody that is absolutely cool with who she is. Now, to Nelson's point, maybe he just want to tap that ass.
And I'm sure he did.
But
We'll see what happened after this.
but so anyway, so after their ride on the kayak, they end up embracing on a beach and they end up kissing. And I said in my notes, I think Vanja is going to get her some vacation D. Okay. So then she decides to invite Yosko back to her apartment because she wants to see where the night takes them. And so he said, although it was unexpected, he was happy to accept that invitation, okay? Because he fell in love with her eyes. All right. And so he asked her why she is in Croatia, and she tells him the story about Bojo. All right. And so Vanya is shocked about how close she feels to him, and she's getting everything she wanted from him that she wanted from Bojo. Okay. And so as they eat dinner, she learns that yeah, again, I might be butchering his name. Forgive me, y'all. Yosko is fostering a 1-year-old boy and plans to adopt him. And I said, I like him. I like him. He said, look,
I don't believe him.
stop. He says that it's hard to date as a single father, and he's looking for a woman to accept him and his son. And so Vanya says she never really thought about being a mom herself. But at this point, she is willing to consider being a stepmom. But she's worried about how things will go once she leaves, since he has a 1-year-old and can't travel to visit her like that. And I ain't gonna hold you. I would love to know Vanya's sign, and this is why. Because the fact that you only went on one date with him and you are already thinking about the future, it definitely gave a little bit of Delulu and a little bit of Pisces spirit. Okay. You're definitely a dreamer. And I love that. I love that. I gotta call a thing when I see it, and I see it on other people, and I know I do it. This would be a conversation I would have with Nels, and she would be sitting across looking at me with the same face she looking at me as I'm talking about Vanya. And been like, it's been one date, Trees, really? When we know, we know.
She don't know a damn thing. She don't even know if that's his adopted child for real.
I said, Vanya's got a man at home.
No,
she
don't.
got a man.
She got a man for the night, child. I didn't even realize I dropped this thing.
All right, let's get into your faves.
Delulu. It's giving Delulu.
Which one, Brian or Ingrid?
It's giving water sign energy.
Who? What? Because I said that they're your faves.
Yes. Yes. So she's talking about Ingrid and Brian. Actually, she knows she loves herself some Ingrid. She better stop playing.
I do like Ingrid.
Ingrid.
I don't like that nasty man. Shout out to Brian's ex-wife.
So Ingrid is really disturbed by Brian's past and the fact that, she ain't know about it. She said she was excited to meet his friend and thought that she was going to find out all these great things about Brian, but instead she ends up finding out more things that she did not know. Now
and he's a trick.
She told him that, she needs some space because she didn't know, he had so many ex-wives, and basically she doesn't want to be another Brazilian on Brian's list. I said, talk about it.
Thank you. You didn't get that vibe at this point. He's talking about love and da-da-da, but the minute she don't give him none, we can't. I really think that this is what he does. He finds, like, I think I said this before, young Brazilian girls that may want a chance and to get him a piece of ass. He gonna sell what he needs to sell.
Mean, we could say that about we could say that even about Vanja.
Okay.
I mean, he got a type.
Okay.
We could say that about a few people. Okay. Now she says she wants it to work, but every time, she thinks that they're getting closer, he drops another bomb. Now, Brian,
every time I try to leave, something keeps pulling me back, telling me I need you in my life. No. That's an oldie but a goodie. Look, we all old, okay? Especially that one. She's older. But
I knew she was gonna say something. So Brian said he's confused because Ingrid told him that they need space, but they already staying separately. He's like, how much space she need? He feels like she's constantly looking for another reason or excuse to pull away. So then his sister calls and he gives his sister the rundown. He tells her that, she wants space and he doesn't really feel like they have time for space because he only got a few days left. And when they kiss, it's like he's kissing his grandma. He said he feels like he's being strung along. So his sister says, you need to have a conversation with her. So Ingrid ends up calling him or texting him. I think texting him. So they met up for lunch. She told him that, she's constantly finding out new things and it's been tough for her to process, but she's trying to make it work. He said he don't think so. He said he don't think that she's trying to make it work. He was like, girl, you asked for space and we're already staying separately. Then he told her that you don't even like me. And she said, boy, if I ain't like
you ain't giving me no draws.
You ain't getting nada from me.
Okay.
And basically, she said, if I didn't like you, why would I be here? And he's like, basically, your actions don't match your words, and you're here because I paid for your hotel and for your trip.
See, I didn't watch that part. I'm shocked. I'm over. He said that.
Yeah.
I knew it was. I knew he was a nasty little man, but God.
I mean, is he wrong though? If I told you to pay for
He's
your,
a nasty little man.
he was he wasn't lying though.
You stupid.
And then he said, he said, we don't have anything. He was like, and when I kiss you, it's like kissing a grandma. So she's in shock. And, he said, he's looking for someone who loves him. And he's not feeling that from her.
He's looking for a caretaker. And she said she ain't doing it. I think she wants to be taken care of. She doesn't want to be somebody's caretaker.
This was already a weird situation to me anyway. So it sounds like she wants a caretaker too.
I said she wants to be taken care of.
Oh, okay. Now he said he feels like, oh no, I already said that. Basically, and he said, that he feels like that she's using him to get her and her children to the US. And she was like, are you freaking serious? You think my life and my kids will be better in the US? And told him he was crazy, called him distrustful, and told him to F off. But it sounds like y'all want to use each other.
Okay. I ain't even going to be mad at you for that assessment. But again, he gives off trick. She saw a trick. She thought she could hit a lick. And Brian said, I'm not with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was a poet, John. I didn't even know it. All right, y'all. Let's move on to Sunny and Veah, because this was
Reese's real favorite.
This was a waste of our damn time. I don't see it for them. Veah is still upset that Sunny made her choose between him and Rory. Sunny claims that he tried to be calm, but the jealousy showed up when he saw Rory, and he understands that, Rory just wants to keep her safe, just like he wants her to be safe. So Veah lets him know she wants him as her boyfriend and Rory as her friend, and doesn't want to have to make a choice. And so Sunny goes in about how she hid Rory being there from him, and lets her know that if she wanted to be friends, she could have left her friend back home. And I was like, well, that's true. So Veah offers to text Rory and tell him to go home so they can focus on their relationship, which Sunny is happy about. And then Rory says he plans to book a flight in the next few days. Sunny says, he knows he was rude, and so he wants to see him before he leaves. And Veah thinks Sunny is, finally showing a sign of maturity, but also know that this might go left. So she's a little concerned. And so finally, when they meet up, they're going on a safari. Things are obviously awkward because there's some tension, because last time I saw you was acting like you was about that life. And so Sunny asked if, he got his ticket, and I'm not even gonna hold you. Again, I guess because Roy really don't want her, so it's not worth doing all that for.
Mm-hmm.
But when this man said, oh, well, Sunny was obviously happy when he learned he was leaving the next day.
He was like, oh, okay, it'll be much better when you're
better,
gone.
Right. And so Roy can sense this hostility and says the shit is weird. Especially after seeing them have their little debacle. I like the word debacle. So then they stop, they admire zebra penis. And then Veah hops out along the safari to go pee. Y'all, this was again a waste of our time. Sunny finally decides to speak to Rory and lets him know that he's feeling weird after their argument. Sunny tells him once he leaves, he knows things is gonna get better. And he tells him his issue is that he has a past with Veah, but he doesn't really have an issue with him. And so he apologizes. Rory tells him he needs to be respectful moving forward. I said, you better stand on business, Rory. You better put some respect on my name. And Roy gives him kudos for apologizing, not to his face, but he says it to, in the confessional. And knows Sunny's still jealous and has insecurity issues. And so then we see them walk along. I want to say it was like, don't get me wrong, I don't know what it was. Was it a reservoir? Or I don't know. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me out here naming bodies of water because that's not what I'm good at. Okay. I know it wasn't the Nile.
I don't know what you're talking about.
When they were walking by the water, and I was thinking it was like a reservoir. But anyway, and was anybody else perturbed when he was like, "Oh, okay, y'all know we used to live in Florida, so I understand being worried about alligators." But when he said hippos,
I put that.
when he said hippos, I said,
no, I was both. He said when he said, "Oh, well, I don't see any hippos or alligators, so you should be fine." And I was like, and they actually still went.
it's the hippos for me. Is hippos really that dangerous like that?
It's the both for me. They're both really dangerous.
Well, I know alligators is dangerous, but you just got to zigzag with them. You just got to zigzag. I've tried to outrun an alligator. I've done crazy things. So the alligator part wouldn't scare me. It's the hippo.
Yes, hippos are dangerous.
Child, I would have been more scared of the zebra penis. But anyway, so
behind a bush,
right.
And
you know what?
That was waving high. Look, trees.
Right.
What?
And I ain't even gonna hold you. When I was at the last time I was at the zoo and I saw how big an ostrich really is, I said, ain't she cute about that? That motherfucker whoop your ass. All it takes is one kick to the chest and you're done. These motherfuckers are big. But I do want to go on a safari though. Again, I'm all about the animals. I'm adventurous. I'm like Vanja. I'm adventurous.
I wouldn't mind going on a safari, but I don't think I want to go on one like that.
I like it, but when you go into Africa,
like Disney or something. I don't
right, you stupid. I'm done with you. Get off my line. Get off my line.
Like where they're actually wild.
Okay, we are so totally off a topic because we don't care about Sunny and Veah. I'm sorry, y'all. But what ended up happening was they end up talking about how Roy asked if she had met the family. She hasn't met the family. She feels like he's trying to hide her. And then he says, I'm not trying to hide you. And she talks about he wants her to cover up her and change who she is. And I loved it when Roy said, I've been with her. I know what it's like. And that's a stubborn ass. She's a sweetheart, but she's a stubborn ass. Okay. And so he said, but if she's gonna be
she wasn't asking too much.
Right. But said if she's gonna be in this relationship, she gotta compromise. And so we see Veah, she does end up compromising. So Sunny promises to introduce her to his dad, but he's still worried because at the end of the day, she's not Muslim, and that's what he's really concerned about. His dad is very traditional and it's of the culture. And yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
All right, who's next? Joe and Magda. She's so, I really hate that they gave her this picture because I feel like she is just so cute.
Yeah, she is. She is. So yeah. They wake up, they got the dog in the bed with their ass. Some weird and she tells him, you know what, I'm glad you're bonding with my dog because now you can go walk his ass while I pack. Then she goes,
you don't like that she slept with the dog? I mean, that they slept with. I mean, it was a big dog, but like a little dog, you went.
I have a little dog.
Oh. I forgot he sleeps under the bed, poor thing.
He can't jump on my bed.
I was a dog sleeper. I'll admit it. I was a dog sleeper. My dog slept. It was to the point where my dog didn't want to sleep with me anymore. And I was like, you don't want to come up here? Like my child. You don't want to come and lay with me?
No. You probably were a dog kisser too, weren't you?
We're not going to talk about that on camera.
Oh my God. Okay, let's move on. So then she goes in his room to go pack up his stuff, sees his stuff all over the place. And she was like, yeah, we can't be having none of this in the future. I can't live like this. Then this Delulu girl is talking about how, he told her friends that he's not ready to get married yet, but she don't think that's really what he meant because, they were talking about her moving to the US. In order for that to happen, they have to get married. So she thinks he's going to be proposed before he leaves. Girl, bye.
Well, what's so crazy is she's coming. So I'm sorry, I'll let you finish because I got questions about that. But go ahead. I know it's going.
So
You're gonna get
he's
into it.
skeptical. He's skeptical as hell on the other end. After hearing she moved to Germany and now she's willing to move to America, hardly knowing him. And he said he's not proposing until he's 100% sure. And he feels like things are moving too quickly and wants to have a conversation about it and basically telling her that, they need to pump their brakes.
I said it.
What you said?
She moved too fast. I like her. She cute.
Mm-hmm.
But she moved too damn fast.
Mm-hmm.
She about worse than Vanja.
Well, Vanya's older. I can understand why she's moving fast.
Oh, because she's younger. She ain't got no real life experience yet. Yeah, she ain't been hurt enough. She ain't been hurt enough times.
I mean, she got time. She got time. Vanya ain't got no time. Vanya should be moving fast.
Okay. Oh, okay, you're saying the other way around. Okay.
Yeah. Vanya want to be married. She didn't say she want kids. It sounds like she open to it, but I mean, she ain't got much time. She got time to wait. Did you want, that was your comment?
No, so my whole thing is when they were having that conversation, I was kind of like, it sounds like, because she said, I'm coming to the US. And maybe you didn't get to that part yet, or are you done?
No, I didn't get there yet.
Okay.
When she bought
that's why I said I'm gonna sit on it. Because I had
the ticket.
Yeah, and she bought the ticket, and so it made it sound like, but you're not coming on a K-1 visa, so why would you assume that he was going to marry you just because you were visiting the U.S.? He just wants you to meet your.
It sounds like this is a plan that they made, and he knew about it. He knew about the flight. So,
but I think he did it under the impression, like, yeah, I want you to meet my family, not you're flying over here and I'm about to marry you, because it's not a K-1 visa. Is what I'm getting. She's not. She's not coming on a K-1 visa.
I think she was just coming to visit the family.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
I think
so for you to expect a proposal before I do that.
I think that's what it was. I think she feels like, what's the point of me meeting your family and we're not even engaged?
Okay.
So they made it to her hometown, Bedzin. She's super excited.
I know you didn't say that right, but I can't say it either. I can't even correct you. So go ahead, girl.
Bedzin. Okay. She's excited to show him around, and he's actually doing pretty good speaking the language. What's crazy is he still can't say his own girlfriend's name, but he's learning how to speak a whole nother language.
He really is. I was proud of Joe.
But he can't say Magda.
He don't know her name.
So they got to her apartment. He felt like it was pretty cozy. He said, for him, her, a 90-pound dog and a cat. I mean, it's a little,
the cat would have to go.
The cozy. So she left him at the house to cook dinner while she went to go pick up her cat from her friend's house. He was concerned about the teddy bears in the room and asked her about it, asked her where they came from. And she said, it was from her friends from Valentine's Day when she was single, and said the only thing that she owns of an ex is a jacket. Then he asked her, do you always move to other countries for your boyfriend?
I love how forthcoming she is, though.
Because she didn't think that it was going down this road.
That part.
Yeah, she looked shocked at his when he said what he said, like, wait, how did we end up here? Because the answers that you gave. She said no, she just moved once, and it was after 3 months of dating. But she said she was glad that she did, basically, because they would have kept doing long distance for the longest. She wouldn't have known that he was a cheater. So she's glad.
3 months.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that baby worse than I thought.
Yeah, she said after 3 months of dating, but she said she's glad she did because she found out sooner than later that he was a cheater. And he's like, okay, that's an interesting viewpoint. But
where is she from again? Poland. I'm about to do the. How far is Poland
from Germany?
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'm just I gotta do my thing that I do.
So he says, well, let's say it's marriage. You married this guy without dating him for a while, and then you found out he was a cheater, and says, it would have been a little bit harder for you to leave, and feels like that's why it's important for you to wait. And she's like, for us to wait. And she's like, whoa. How did we get here? And she feels like where did this conversation come from? And she's like, didn't you say, um, oh, I'm sorry. She's like, oh, I didn't say you had to propose to me tomorrow, but you did tell me a few days ago that you wanted to spend the rest of your life with me. And basically that's something that you've always told me. And even she says that she bought a ticket to the US, and he didn't say anything about it, and it seemed like, and didn't seem like he had any concerns. And she says basically she's not about to waste her time any more time, and basically he's making her not want to do anything.
Well, a flight from Poland to Germany is only an hour and 20 minutes. So that's not terrible.
Oh, okay.
Now, if you're driving, you're talking 8 hours.
I mean, that's still not bad.
8-hour drive?
Yeah, that's still not bad.
No, it's not terrible. But yeah, no.
So he said that, he does love her and wants to be with her, but he thinks that they need some time to make sure that they love and trust each other. And it's important to wait. She said, you know what? It's okay. You don't have to propose at all. Okay. I don't even want to get married no more. I'm gonna go to bed. All right. Then she told production she don't know what's going on with him because she didn't do anything wrong. He was the only one making mistakes, and she don't want to be with a person that's constantly changing their mind and says that she wants someone who is sure about their feelings for her. So, well, okay.
So what are your, okay. Although I like Magda, it is, in my opinion, and I know he's a little bit older, maybe not, and he may not be the most emotionally mature, but it is absolutely a red flag that it seems like every relationship you get in, and it doesn't take much time, and you're ready to commit, fly, move, and do whatever. And granted, she's young, and maybe that's but that is a red flag. I'm not even mad at him for that. Do you agree, disagree, or she's doing too much too fast, and that's alarming to him?
I agree with that, but
don't worry, I'll wait.
The only thing that he feels fast is the proposal, but if she wanted to bone, that it wouldn't be too soon for that.
Okay, facts.
So, I mean, yes, that type of commitment, yes. And I mean, if you and it seems like this was a plan, I want to marry you, like, and he could just be saying in general. It couldn't, right. Maybe it's not tomorrow or in the next few months or whatever, right? But if that's still the plan, and I live all the way over here, you live all the way over here, honestly, I don't want to just hear it like it's eventually going to happen either. I want to know a plan. You want me to meet your family and all this other stuff. And I feel her like, if you don't know that you're sure about me.
Right. Okay.
Why am I going to the US to meet anyone? I mean, now if you tell me, I think, 3 to 6 months or something like that, you know what I mean? A proposal is more realistic, and I have like a timeline on our future, that's different. But I mean, he's not really giving her that. It's more, yeah, I want to be with you. I love you, but I'm not really doing anything to show you. And we live in 2 different countries, and at this point, it's just words.
Okay. Nails with a different perspective. I can appreciate it. All right, y'all. Let's get into now these are my faves.
And
Niles and Matilda. Matilda just found out that Niles lost his job, y'all. They were supposed to be getting married the next day, but Niles ain't got no money. Okay. So luckily Matilda's brother was feeling gracious enough to help them out so they could get their wedding attire. The Niles must get up early the next morning and go talk to Mr. R
on the day of the wedding.
On the day of the wedding to ask for the rest of the money for the wedding. Now, remember, I told y'all, I said he gonna end up asking. I thought Mr. Ark implied it. Nels corrected me, but I thought he implied it. So I ain't even mad at Niles for feeling like I'm about to go knock on Mr. Ark's door and ask him for the rest of this money.
He like you daddy, ain't you?
Right. But again, remember, Mr. Ark said, "Don't worry about it. I'll take care of it." Da, 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 whatever.
I think he was just talking about the negotiation.
And only because I think somebody and thank you, I'm sorry I can't remember right now, but one of the subs dropped down in the comments and already said that they married. So it makes me believe if Niles really didn't have the money, either he really did have the money and this is just a storyline, or Mr. Ark really did come through for him, because they
Mhm,
are supposed to be married.
mhm.
So sorry, spoiler alert. So then Matilda goes out. Niles decides he's gonna call his mama and his daddy and let them know what's really going on, right? Now I wish this could have been a speaker conversation, but I guess maybe they didn't
He
agree.
wanted his parents to respect, I'm sure.
And so he's hopeful that they're gonna give their approval, even though they think Matilda doesn't have the best intentions and they think that she's scamming him. So he tells them, "Hey, I'm gonna marry Matilda tomorrow." And they question whether he's in his right mind and if he's taken enough time to get to know her. Uh, my notes say Niles is defiant and lets him know he knows what he wants, and that's Matilda. Okay. He suggests that his parents just try to talk to Matilda, and they say they won't be talking to her. They want no parts of this foolishness. Okay. And so Niles is hurt that his parents don't support his marriage to Matilda. And so Niles lets Matilda know later that night as they're in bed, and she can sense that like something's off about him. And he's like, "Yo, my parents don't approve." And so Matilda wants to know, well, how am I supposed to move to the US and we ain't got no family support? How is this supposed to work? And Niles reassures her that, oh, you'll never be alone. You got me. But word on these YouTube streets is Niles lives with the parents.
Say what?
Word on these YouTube streets is Niles lives with his parents.
So I'm guessing they married, but she ain't in the US.
That's what it's giving. If I'm wrong, I know y'all gonna correct me down in the comments. Go ahead, Shade Squad. That's what y'all here for. It's a community. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just word on the street. So, and then there's another word on the street that this couple is completely fake.
I saw that.
But go ahead.
Faith and Lorn, y'all. So Faith said that she had high hopes after she forgave his ass,
She's got
and then
high hopes.
he betrayed
She's
her
got.
again. Loren then brings her coconut and says that they need to have a conversation. And basically, Loren told her that nothing happened with the drag queens, but there was a guy that walked up to him and said, "You know what? My friend thinks that you're cute." So he grabbed the girl by the face and said, "You're too young, and I'm here with my beautiful girlfriend." Okay. And
I
said
would
that
consider that flirting. I would. You're doing a little bit too much. Even if you're turning the bitch down, you didn't need to do all that. You could have just said, "No, I got a friend. I got
you
somebody."
know, listen, you know how I feel about that. But actually, and I don't know how young the girl was, but actually when he explained his reasoning for doing it, I was like, okay, first of all, she's young. As a woman, you don't normally do the approaching, and
Okay.
he didn't want to just reject her, and be like, cruel about it, I guess. But at the end of the day, you should care more about your girlfriend's feelings. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay. That part. I knew the truth was gonna come out.
So basically, he said that the best friend was jumping to conclusions. And it really don't make a difference because Faith did not believe his ass. She said, "You cheated on me before, you could do it again. And you told my friend that you had 7 girls." He said, "If I'm on thin ice, okay, and I'm here with you and your friends,
I think
why
I
on
said
earth
that.
would I do it?" And I thought of you when he said that. And he was like, "And if I was willing to take those type of risks, why wouldn't I just say F my relationship and go back to the hotel? And go back with the drag queen rather than come back to the hotel." And basically she says that she has a problem with his flirting, and and told him that it's him, goodness, humiliating. Okay. And
Mhm.
that's really the issue. That's not you should not be grabbing on no girl's face in front of your girl, in front of her friends, none of that. So he apologized for showing the girl any affection, but told her that, he loves her. And she's like, next time, don't you do that. This is the last time. BS.
Well, I
Um,
love when he was like, "How much can you put up with?" I know he didn't say it like that, but that's basically what he
I,
said.
I left that out because that aggravated me.
I know it did. That's why I brought it up.
Now he said he just wants to enjoy the next few days because he's leaving pretty soon, and actually got emotional thinking about it, which Faith loved that he got emotional and made her feel like he really does give a damn.
Lies, lies. Okay.
Exactly.
Um, oh Jesus Christ on the main line. But so yeah, y'all, we appreciate y'all for being here with us for this recap of the 90 day before the 90 days, season 7, episode 15. If you haven't already, please go ahead and hit that like button for us.
Make sure you comment
Make sure that you guys subscribe.
and hit the notification bell.
And make sure that you're following us on all the platforms, the TikTok, the BlueSky, the IG, the Facebook. And y'all, this is just becoming a flow now. I ain't even got to try no more. Like I just
You
got it. But we appreciate y'all. We thank you so much for the support. Honestly, we are growing and glowing and we love it. And if you feel like you want to be a part of this community, then go ahead and subscribe, y'all, because it's free 99. And that's the best Christmas present you could ever give us in real life, real talk. Okay. But yeah, we love y'all. Hope you have a good week, and we'll catch you next week for another recap of Before the 90 Days. Bye bye.
Good night.